Are you ready to uncover the truth about the hidden connections between a woman's body, self-image, and sexuality? Let's dive into a topic that might be uncomfortable for some to talk about, but is incredibly important to understand. Today, we'll explore something many women face but rarely discuss: how the size of a woman's breasts might impact her emotional relationship with her body, especially when it comes to her most intimate areas. We'll also explore the powerful psychological effects these perceptions can have on self-esteem and sexual wellness. But why should you stick with me through this conversation? First, because what we're about to uncover may shift the way you view yourself, or the women in your life, forever. We're not just talking about anatomy, we're talking about body image, emotional well-being, and the way society influences how women experience their own femininity. If you've ever felt misunderstood or disconnected from your own body, or struggled with feelings of being objectified, you're not alone. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the narrative about breasts and intimacy is more complex than we've been led to believe. You'll discover how women with larger breasts may be dealing with both physical discomfort and psychological strain, and how these experiences affect their relationship with their own bodies and sexuality. This isn't just about anatomy, it's about understanding the deeply emotional journey that many women face. It's time to unpack the myths, challenge the stigmas, and recognize the whole person behind the body. Trust me, this discussion is one you won't want to miss, and it might just change the way you think about femininity, self-love, and acceptance. So, stick with me until the end, because there's a lot to uncover about how we can move toward a more compassionate, holistic view of ourselves. Ready? Let's go! If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. Let us dive into today's topic, one that might not be openly discussed in everyday conversations, but which, I believe, deserves our attention with warmth, compassion, and without any judgment. Today, I want to reflect on an aspect of our feminine essence, an aspect that often goes unspoken but holds profound meaning for many women. We will explore the fascinating, yet sensitive relationship between the size of a woman's breasts and the nature of her vagina. Though this topic may not be talked about often, it has surfaced in medical studies and across various cultures for generations. The connection between these two physical aspects of the female body has been observed, and I believe it's time to unpack it, not to create shame or discomfort, but to better understand the complexity of the female form. Throughout my life, I've encountered a range of theories and assumptions about this topic. I've witnessed how these notions can impact the self-esteem, body image, and sexuality of many women, often leaving them feeling misunderstood or disconnected from their own bodies. The pressure to conform to societal expectations can be heavy, and it's crucial to approach this conversation with a sense of empathy and respect for the lived experiences of women. First and foremost, let me be crystal clear. There is no definitive, unbreakable link between the size of a woman's breasts and the nature or structure of her vagina. The female body is nothing short of extraordinary in its diversity, and each woman's body is a unique expression of her individuality. The idea that these two parts of a woman's body are inherently linked is a myth, a narrative that has been perpetuated over time, yet lacks scientific grounding. However, despite the absence of a direct physical connection, there are subtle, yet significant, ways that the size of a woman's breasts can impact her life experience, especially her relationship with her body and her sexuality. Women with larger breasts often find themselves under the gaze of others from a very young age. The constant attention, whether in the form of looks, comments, or unsolicited judgments, can have a profound effect on how these women come to view themselves. They may struggle with feelings of being objectified, reduced to their physicality rather than embraced for the totality of who they are. This external scrutiny doesn't just affect the way they walk through the world. It influences how they feel about their bodies, both in the public and private spheres. The physical weight of larger breasts, in particular, can create changes in posture and alignment, impacting the body in ways that many women are not prepared for. The strain on the back, neck, and shoulders can be immense, leading to discomfort, chronic pain, or even long-term spinal issues. As a result, women may unconsciously alter the way they move, the way they sit, or even the way they engage in physical activities. This can have a ripple effect on how they feel in their own skin, affecting their confidence, self-image, and overall sense of comfort in their bodies. More than just the physical toll, there's a psychological aspect at play. Many women with larger breasts feel that their sexuality is hyper-visible, that their bodies are constantly on display, whether they want them to be or not. This sense of being overly sexualized can create a complicated relationship with their own sense of intimacy and self-worth. In private moments, this can lead to discomfort, self-consciousness, and a lack of emotional connection with their own sensuality. The weight of others' perceptions can cloud the way they experience their bodies in the most intimate and vulnerable spaces. The emotional complexity that arises from this dynamic cannot be overstated. For these women, the challenge lies not only in navigating society's expectations, but also in cultivating a sense of ownership over their own bodies. It's about learning to reconcile the outside world's gaze with an internal sense of self-love and acceptance. The journey of understanding and embracing one's body is uniquely personal and, for many, filled with moments of vulnerability and triumph. It's time that we shift the narrative, recognizing the depth of this experience and honoring the many layers of complexity it involves. At the heart of this discussion is a simple truth. Every woman's body, regardless of its shape, size, or features, deserves respect, dignity, and understanding. It's crucial to remember that women's bodies are not just physical structures. They are vessels of identity, history, and personal experience. The connection between a woman's breasts and her vagina is just one piece of a much larger, more intricate puzzle. Let's honor each woman's journey, their body's story, and the beautiful, multifaceted nature of femininity. I've known many women who, because of their larger breasts, have felt that far too much attention is placed on that one part of their anatomy. As a result, they often end up neglecting or even hiding their relationship with the rest of their bodies, especially their most intimate parts, like their vagina. This misplaced focus can lead to deep-seated insecurities that manifest not only in their self-image, but also in their most private moments of intimacy. It's heartbreaking to witness how these insecurities seep into their experience of pleasure, causing many to feel disconnected from their own bodies, their own desires, and ultimately, their own joy. This emotional distance often shapes their entire relationship with their sexuality, creating a sense of shame, self-doubt, and even fear, leaving them uncertain about how to truly feel desired and connected in their most intimate spaces. A psychological study conducted just a few years ago shed light on this troubling dynamic, revealing that women with larger breasts tend to have a much more critical view of their bodies, particularly when comparing themselves to society's often unrealistic and harmful beauty standards. This constant cycle of comparison, measuring oneself against a distorted ideal of beauty that's often narrow, superficial, and unattainable, can lead to a profound internal conflict. It's as though these women are trapped in an endless loop of external validation, constantly feeling that they don't meet society's expectations of perfection. And the consequences are far-reaching: a persistent lack of confidence, an inability to feel truly comfortable in one's own skin, and a deep sense of disconnection from one's physical self. This external pressure to conform to a rigid, idealized image of what a woman's body should look like can have a devastating effect on mental health, self-esteem, and sexual well-being, leaving women feeling unseen, unheard, and undervalued. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. In fact, this societal gaze, which so often objectifies women based on their physical features, can have an even more insidious effect. It distances women from their own sense of agency. When their bodies are reduced to just one aspect, whether it's their breasts, their hips, their weight, or their skin tone, they lose the ability to see their bodies as holistic, complex, and beautiful in their entirety. The woman with larger breasts may feel that those breasts define her, not only in the eyes of others but in her own eyes as well. The weight of this attention, this gaze, can cause women to feel disconnected from their bodies in their entirety, robbing them of the freedom to explore every part of themselves, including their intimate, sensual, and sexual selves. It is vital, therefore, to understand that the relationship between the breasts and the vagina is not purely physical but deeply emotional. Women who have larger breasts often feel an overwhelming pressure to conform to an idealized image of beauty and sexuality, one that is, in truth, unattainable and harmful. The weight of this pressure can obscure their connection to their bodies as a whole and, in particular, their relationship with their sexuality. Women who face this experience may start to disconnect from the deeper emotional and physical experiences of their sexuality, focusing instead on a superficial narrative of what their bodies should be or should feel like according to the outside world. This is where the challenge truly lies, in reconciling this external pressure with an internal sense of self-worth and body acceptance. But here's the truth, one I've come to understand deeply with the wisdom that comes with age and lived experience. The true path to healing, fulfillment, and empowerment lies in learning to embrace and reconnect with every part of your body, not just the parts that others gaze upon. A woman must learn to stop viewing her body through the lens of judgment and societal expectation, and instead reconnect with it from a place of acceptance, love, and self-compassion. Every part of her body, from the breasts to the vagina, is worthy of care, attention, and reverence. The journey is not about fitting into an external standard, but about embracing her body as it is, understanding that it is hers to cherish, explore, and love unconditionally. It's through this acceptance and radical self-love that true intimacy and pleasure can begin to bloom, an intimacy not only with others but with oneself. I've heard countless stories over the years of women who, after years of insecurity, finally discover that their sexuality blossoms when they stop focusing on how their bodies look and start focusing on how they feel. One story that has always stuck with me is about a dear friend I had many years ago, a woman with very large breasts. She once confided in me that, throughout her life, she had always felt insecure in bed. She believed that her prominent breasts overshadowed every other part of her body, making it impossible for her to feel truly desired or connected in intimate moments. She felt that everything about her sexual identity was overshadowed by this one feature that seemed to demand attention, often for the wrong reasons. The way she described it, it was as if her body had been reduced to a single, overemphasized feature, something that left her feeling disconnected from her own pleasure, from the sensations that should have been joyous and empowering. The weight of this belief, however, was more than just a feeling. It shaped how she approached intimacy with her partners, how she viewed herself in the mirror, and how she allowed herself to experience her own body. She confessed that she often felt unseen in moments of intimacy. Her breasts were the focus, not her whole body, not her spirit. And so, there was no room for her to truly surrender to the experience, to give herself fully to the pleasure of the moment. One evening, after an intimate conversation between the two of us, I asked her if she had ever taken the time to explore what truly gave her pleasure, beyond what she believed others might think or expect. I asked her if she had ever sat with herself, quietly, and allowed herself to feel without judgment. She paused, clearly caught off guard by the question, and after a long moment of reflection, she smiled softly and admitted that no, she hadn't. She had spent so much time worrying about how her breasts were perceived by others that she had never fully explored what felt good to her. She had, in essence, been trapped by the expectations placed upon her, never giving herself permission to embrace her own desires, her own sensuality, and most importantly, her own sense of pleasure. This conversation was a turning point for her, a moment of clarity. She realized that her sexuality was not about meeting others' expectations or fitting into a mold of what she should look like. It was about rediscovering her body, releasing the shame she had carried for so long, and learning to experience pleasure on her own terms. She began to reconnect with the parts of herself that she had previously hidden or neglected. Over time, she came to understand that true sexual fulfillment comes from being present in her body, accepting it fully, and allowing herself to experience intimacy without fear of judgment. This revelation, though poignant, is not unique. For many women, the journey to sexual fulfillment is not about changing their bodies or meeting societal standards of beauty. It's about releasing the shackles of external pressure and learning to reconnect with their bodies in a way that is deeply personal and authentic. It's about reclaiming their pleasure and, most importantly, their sense of agency in the most intimate and vulnerable spaces of their lives. The process of learning to love oneself, every part of oneself, is ongoing, and it is one that many women, regardless of their body type, must embark on in order to fully experience the joy and freedom that intimacy can offer. Over time, she learned to rediscover herself in ways she never thought possible. With each passing day, she became more at peace with her body, allowing herself the grace to explore, accept, and love every inch of it. What was truly beautiful was that, as she deepened her self-connection, she realized that her vagina, once hidden in the shadows of her insecurities and overshadowed by the focus on her breasts, was a magnificent source of joy, pleasure, and intimacy that she had never fully explored before. For so long, she had carried the weight of societal expectations and personal insecurities. She felt as though her breasts, being so prominent, defined her sexuality in the eyes of others. But once she allowed herself to release these self-imposed limitations and quieted the external noise, she discovered something profound. Her sexuality was not defined by her breasts, nor by any other single feature of her body. It was about how she felt in her entirety, how she connected to herself from within. As she embraced her sexuality, not as something to be judged, but as something to be celebrated, she unlocked a newfound sense of freedom. Her body, as a whole, became a canvas for exploration, a sacred space that she could honor and discover on her own terms. While there are medical perspectives that suggest women with larger breasts may experience more natural lubrication, potentially due to higher estrogen levels, the connection between physical features and sexuality is far more nuanced. The body cannot be boiled down to simple hormonal equations or comparisons. The female form is a complex masterpiece, a universe in itself, with each woman's experience being as unique as her fingerprints. No two bodies are alike. No two sexualities are identical. The truth is that while hormonal factors may play a role in a woman's physical response, the emotional and psychological connections she forms with her body have a far greater impact. It is not the size of her breasts or the way others perceive her physical attributes that determines her pleasure. It is the way she feels about herself, how deeply she connects with her own desires, and how freely she shares her body with someone who respects and adores her. What I always say, and I think it's something that simply can't be emphasized enough, is that female sexuality is an entire universe unto itself. It's vast, intricate, and deeply personal. It's not a monolithic experience. It's not something defined by society's standards or the comparisons we make with others. It is about how we feel about ourselves, our bodies, our minds, and our souls, and how we experience our sensuality without fear of judgment or shame. Too often, we are led to believe that our sexuality is something external, something we must shape and mold to fit into the rigid framework of what others expect from us. But the truth is, our sexuality is ours to explore, discover, and experience as we see fit. It is about how we feel in our own skin, how we honor the sensations of our bodies, and how we choose to connect with our own pleasure. To every woman who has ever felt that their body wasn't enough, whether because of the size of their breasts, their hips, their shape, or their physical appearance, I want to tell you this: your body, in all of its uniqueness, is beautiful. Every part of you is worthy of love, respect, and deep appreciation. And your vagina, just like your breasts or any other part of you, is a treasure. It holds the capacity for connection, pleasure, and intimacy that is unique to you, and it is just as beautiful as any other aspect of your body. The external expectations that society places on us, especially when it comes to our physical appearance, can often leave us feeling diminished or disconnected from our own sexual power. But your true power comes from within, from the love and acceptance you give yourself, from the way you explore and experience your own body, not how others see you. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. So, I want to urge every woman out there, especially those with larger breasts who may have felt disconnected from their own sexuality, to remember this: your vagina is not something to hide or feel ashamed of. It is a source of immense beauty and power. Don't let anyone, society, partners, or even your own fears, distract you from the importance of discovering your own pleasure. Explore it with the same love and curiosity that you would any other part of your body. Every inch of you deserves to be touched, felt, and experienced. Your body is yours to enjoy, to connect with, and to explore in the most intimate, sensual way possible. I can't stress enough how important it is to reconnect with yourself on a deeper level, to embrace every part of your body with the tenderness and compassion it deserves, to let go of the comparison games, the unrealistic expectations, and to stop viewing your body through the lens of others' judgments. The most important thing in life, especially as we navigate the complexities of intimacy and sexuality, is how we feel within our own skin. It's not about being perfect by someone else's standards, nor is it about conforming to ideals that we know, deep down, don't serve us. It's about accepting ourselves in our fullness, without shame or guilt. It's about loving ourselves as we are, in all our glory, and cherishing the unique way in which we experience the world in our own bodies. Because, at the end of the day, what truly matters is not the size of your breasts, your hips, or any other part of your physical form. What matters is how you feel on the inside, how deeply you connect with yourself, how profoundly you embrace your own sensuality, and how much love you give yourself. The most fulfilling, beautiful connections you'll ever have, whether with yourself or others, will come from a place of deep self-love and acceptance. So, take this moment to let go of any insecurities you might be holding on to. You are more than enough. You are whole, you are beautiful, and you are worthy of the deepest pleasures life has to offer. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope this message resonates with you, and I hope it inspires you to begin, or continue, your journey towards self-love and body acceptance. Remember, your sexuality is your own, and it is a beautiful, powerful force. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. If this message spoke to you, be sure to subscribe to the Sabia Vejes channel. We'll continue to dive deep into these important topics and share more heart-to-heart conversations with love, compassion, and respect. I can't wait to see you in the next video, where we'll keep exploring these themes of self-empowerment, self-love, and the beauty of embracing your true, authentic self. So, what have we learned today? We've uncovered that the connection between a woman's breasts and her vagina isn't as simple as society often makes it out to be. We've explored how body image, societal expectations, and personal experiences can shape a woman's relationship with her body, both physically and emotionally. Whether it's dealing with external scrutiny or reconciling one's own feelings of objectification, we've seen just how much deeper these issues go than we might first think. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you'll carry with you going forward? Whether it's about body image, self-love, or understanding the emotional complexities that shape a woman's experience, drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Let's keep this conversation going. Your perspective could make a real difference to someone else. And if you found this video insightful, please leave your comment below, like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more discussions like this. I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Until next time, take care and be kind to yourself and others.